So far we've talked about entering your references manually and exporting references from databases. But there's a third way to get references into your EndNote library, and that's to import saved PDFs. The files that you can use to create references in your EndNote libraries have to be publisher-generated PDFs, such as eJournal articles, and they need to have a DOI, or a Digital Object Identifier, which is that string of letters and numbers that we talked about earlier. So if you have a file, a PDF that's saved on your computer, it's a publisher-generated PDF, like an article from an academic eJournal, and it has a DOI, then you're likely to be able to use it to import it directly into EndNote and create the reference along with it. So let's see how we can do that. In EndNote, I'm going to choose File, Import, File, and then I'm going to make sure that the import option is set to PDF and not one of these other options. Then I can click Choose and browse to the file. I'm going to choose this PDF called Muir here that I have saved on my hard drive. And now I can choose Import. Here we are, we have a reference that EndNote has created from that PDF. And you'll notice something new. There's a paperclip icon here on the reference, and over here on the right hand side we've got a new item in our PDF tab. We've got the actual full text of the article, so this is the PDF itself along with the reference that's been created. If I want to read this a little bit larger, or if I want to make highlights or comments or make any annotations, I've got lots of tools up here that I can use. So there's a pop-out tool here. I can open the PDF of it in a much bigger window, and there's various tools such as the highlight tool, so I can highlight useful material. I'm just going to close this PDF using the same Control-W close window command that I used before. Control-W, and I'm saving my changes, which is my highlighted section. You can also choose to import all the contents of a folder. So if I choose File, Import Folder, then I can browse to a folder and import a whole lot of PDFs all at once. Or I can even set up a default folder to import automatically, and there are instructions on how to do this in the EndNote guide on the AUT Library website or in our EndNote workshop handout. If you want to attach documents to references that you have already created or imported in your library, it's easy to do that. There's two main ways to attach PDFs to your references, and I'll show you both now. So the easiest and simplest way is simply to select your reference and then click the Attach File paperclip tool over here, and then you're going to choose where you're going to find your document. I found my file here, click Open, and there it is. The other way is to use a tool called Find Full Text. So this is quite a useful tool that will actually go and look for full text PDFs for you and attach them to the references if it can find them. So EndNote's going to do that work for you. Now, the kinds of items that are able to be found in full text are, again, it's really those items with a DOI. So you're looking especially at journal articles that might have full text PDFs on our library databases. So I'm going to select a few items here, this one here, and I'm going to use Shift click to choose 3 at once. So I have 3 references, and I want to know if EndNote can go and find the full text for these journal articles. I can use the Find Full Text tool. There's a button up here on the toolbar. Looks a bit like a PDF icon with a magnifying glass. Or I can go to References, Find Full Text, Find Full Text. As soon as I click that or click the Find Full Text button, you'll notice over on the left-hand side that EndNote is looking for the full text of these articles, and it lets me know what progress is like. So 1 PDF was found, but unfortunately 2 weren't. However, I've got 1 new PDF here. That's the one with the paperclip next to it, and if I click on the PDF tab, I can see the full text there. So that's not bad. Note that the Find Full Text tool works best when you're on campus.